about Jinyami channel so me da so nyamre na wo tie me baby a me we red carpet Ghanaian professional network program ase a omo fundraising to support the scholarship program running or Ghana DFW you know association bebre or the the boa community no almost so they see omo listen say be raise funds na the scholarship program ama Ghana nkwara omo ha say because education is the key so we hana per community be program be say open association be say join here omo ha say omo ye niema bebre de omo lawyers doctors nurses crofo bebre ti me join omo nsem obia etimi baby on red carpet so na me we and am dey share she mpanifo bebre ha ye be ko ha ne on be kasa ne akyerɛkyerɛ mu dio ane meko entino ma me twa me ho tamchuku di nyame channel no me ntwa ho ye basisi a omo so mo ase di program e brɛ mo no e bi ye omo sponsors ye Gosen Accra of Dallas omo sponsor omo program no na Ajua Beauty omo so kan ho na omo sponsor omo program no and there's one person exit Henry Opoku Apia Realtor sign crofo me san we no maka mo ho abo na mo so ma se no omo sponsor program no niema wo mpa ho efe omo aye ha kama pa mpanifo bebre wa ha entino ye de beko na mo ahwede ekoso nyina ginyam channel no twen ye ba sisi a preme ohuma afakuma kaswa ona she je na my channel.
Give me a sunlight, tell me your heart, give me a loving, stay to the mind, give me a reason, give me a reason, give me a reason.
Charlie boy, wow. Baby body, how you whine like that? Tell me how you really want it. And make it clap like that. Shake it for me, baby, flaunt it. Baby body, how you whine like that? Tell me how you really want it. And make it clap like that. Shake it for me, baby, flaunt it. Cause the way that you got me seems like you're tempted to touch me. The way that you got me seems like you're tempted to touch me. Go low, slow wire, your back, let's fire. Kele on me, oh wire. Go fire. Body of a goddess, put you on fire. You can handle this hotness, temperature gets higher. Tempted to touch in the morning, tempted to touch in the evening, tempted to touch when you see me. Baby boy, you know you my charge. Baby body, how you whine like that? Tell me how you really want it. And make it clap like that. Shake it for me, baby, flaunt it. Baby body, how you whine like that? Tell me how you really want it. And make it clap like that. Shake it for me, baby, flaunt it. Cause the way that you got me seems like you're tempted to touch me. The way that you got me seems like you're tempted to touch me. Put your hands on my body so I know. Kiss and caress me before I go. If you really, really want me, let me know. Do re mi fa sol la ti li do. Do re mi, do re mi. Do re mi fa sol la ti li do. Do re mi, do re mi. Do re mi fa sol la ti li do. Tempted to touch in the morning, tempted to touch in the evening, tempted to touch when you see me. Baby boy, you know you my charge. Baby body, how you whine like that? Tell me how you really want it. And make it clap like that. Shake it for me, baby, flaunt it. Baby body, how you whine like that? Tell me how you really want it. And make it clap like that. Shake it for me, baby, flaunt it. Cause the way that you got me seems like you're tempted to touch me. The way that you got me seems like you're tempted to touch me.
Boomba! Oh, liquor. Oh, sugar cane sweet, but girl, your love is sweeter. So below juice mixed with a little ginger. Oh girl, I wanna be with you, but you know they got enough time for me. I wanna live with you. I got the reason why I can't let go. Girl, you never know, so you gon' gossip. Man, them so far to find your love. Girl, you never know, so you gon' gossip. Man, them so far to find your love. Girl, you never know, so you gon' gossip. Man, them so far to find your love. Girl, you never know, so you gon' gossip. Man, them so far to find your love. Match on your chin, now girl, don't talk. Got me like a thief in the night, long jaw. But you know, say all of my I know the rush, baby. If you want me, catch a rebel, my miss with me. Yeah.
Show me a jigger, let me see. And let me see the woman that is with. I put a couple $1,000 on your wrist. What's on your wrist? Mama, they can't touch you. I ain't never see this kind, babe. We do some kind things, make me feel some kind way. You know I'm not just tryna get laid, cause I know some kind chicks do it for the right pay. Baby, make a fire you with my machine gun. 16 rounds, I be King Kong. Kelly, make a sample you my brand new song. Baby, love.
Oh girl, I wanna be with you, but you know they got enough time for me. I wanna live with you, yeah. I got the reason why I can't let go. Girl, you never know, say I come pass up. Man, them so far to find your love. Girl, you never know, say you come pass up. Man, them so far to find your love. Girl, you never know, you come pass up. Man, them so far to find your love. Girl, you never know, say you come pass up. Man, them so far to find your love.
Señorita, mamacita, body bad and the craze for your features. Nice to meet you, Jimmy Sika. Only wanna deceive on my future. Oh, I wanna teach your body a thing or two. If you know the things we do, this loving no be joke, no April Fool. Yeah, girl, some more yummy second. 5-star boomba, nyata kaba kaba miaka tamina ngobe. Oh my, I need my boss, my mama. All of my guys are thugs, but you know I'm rude though. I mean, if you wanna give it up, I go trap much for your love, yeah. All of the guys, they want you, but they don't know that I got you. And they never been where we been from, cause you're my obsession. When I put you in a right skirt, shawty come and ride in my backseat. Would you tell me what you want, what you fancy? Waiting on my ride like a
taxi. I wanna be with you, but you know they got enough time for me. I wanna live with you. I got the reason why I can't let go. Girl, you never know, say you gon' pass up. Man, them so far to find your love. Girl, you never know, say you gon' pass up. Man, them so far to find your love. Girl, you never know, gon' pass up. Man, them so far to find your love. Girl, you never know, say you gon' pass up. Man, them so far to find your love.
Man's oboe. Oh no, I'm here stand the defender like Joseph Yobo. But girl say she want Netflix and chill, yeah. So I chatty get even money. If you fall in love, Kelly satin. You go to breakfast, I'm not capping. Can you see dripple, I'm not catching. I'm not faking this, no fugazi. You see these feelings, I'm not catching. I'm on quest and feet, I just want it.
Happiness. If I broke, now my business. I'ma show you go right. All I care for the night. Happiness. If I broke, now my business. I know you go right to. All I care for the night.
I find it excessive. If it be the reason why your baba wanna jealous me. If you want to take I'm serious, I do top speed. No fit to resonate, I'm on a different frequency. I don't think it's necessary. I be done with that somebody that could do like me. When I be like Musala coming off the right wing, I cut through your defender, you no need to tell me. I'm a horse, finesse. And you know say me I'm a snack. Now you can let I go carry go. If me I got money past you, if you're not careful, finesse. You know say me I'm a snack. Now you can let I go carry go. If me I got money past you, if you're not careful.
Finesse. If I broke, now my business. I'ma show you go bright. All I care for the night. Finesse. If I broke, now my business. I'ma show you go bright. All I care for the night. Happiness. If I broke, now my business. I'ma show you go bright. All I care for the night.
I'ma get no be so. Girl, you won't capture my soul. I'ma get no be so. Make you one bolo. vibe. I'm loose. Even Peru done the para. Tonight in Josie, I'm in Josie. Won't call if you want one Josie. I'm not playing with you, I'm not joking.
We are very excited to have you with us this evening. I am your host. My name is Efe. Some of you may know me as Dorothy Holbrook. By profession, I'm an account manager, and I live here. But my family is from Cape Coast, Ghana. And this handsome gentleman next to me.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am also your host. People call me Baby Cubby, but my real name is Emmanuel Kabna Biff. Yes. I was born and raised in Ghana. My family is from Asante Bekwai. And for my profession, I'm the lead business analyst for the Department of Veterans Affairs. And thank you guys for that. Thank you for participating tonight. Please give yourself a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Also, so there's a lot of Ghanaians here, right? Ghana for and you know Ghanaians, we are very known for one thing.
What is that?
Lateness. You know, there are only two places in this world Ghanaians will never be late to. Who can tell me? I mean, Effie, what do you think? Two places Ghanaians will never be late to?
I think one for sure is church.
Church?
Church.
Me, myself, I'll be late to heaven. Church. Oh. We are always late to church.
It's not church.
No. Look.
Work.
The only... No, not even work.
No, you're late to work.
I'm always late to work. Airport, I've missed a lot of flights. Today, I almost missed my flight from Virginia.
American Embassy.
Oh. You know what? There's only one place Ghanaians will never be late to. An immigration appointment.
That's right.
We need that green card.
That's right.
Yes, and another place we'll never be late to is Ghanaian's Professional Network. Give yourself a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, for coming and being on time.
So tonight's theme for the evening is bringing Ghana to the world, celebrating us. So again, we're very excited to have you this evening with us, and we're looking forward to what the night has in store.
Yes, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Effie, I like your outfit. Where did you get it from?
You like it?
Yeah, it's nice. Don't you guys think her outfit is beautiful? Very nice, elegant. Miss Ghana.
Yeah, that's right. Duh, Ghana.
Yes, and also my suits.
What? Whoa, hold on. Let's see. Look at the details.
Oh.
Is this velvet?
It's velvet.
I love it.
Thank you.
Beautiful. You look so handsome.
Thank you.
Where's your suit from?
Oh, it's from, so there's this Ghanaian fellow that he lives in Europe, he lives in Belgium, and this is his brand. It's called Grogo Store. So I'm the brand ambassador for it, so I have to kind of represent him every time I come to a professional event like this.
Oh, well, you're looking.
Thank you. You see, I look.
Well, we are going to go ahead and start the program. And so we're going to go ahead and introduce our first presenter.
Ladies and gentlemen, please give a round of applause for Jay Sarkodie.
So he's been in charge of the silent auction. I don't know if you all have been made aware, but there are some beautiful pieces that are out here from Ghana. And every time you purchase an item, the money or the funds are going to go towards our scholarship fund. So I'll go ahead and let him give some remarks.
Thank you, Effie. Okay, so hello, my name is Jay Sarkodie, or Sarkodie. So in the back over there, we have two tables. We have a lot of different items that we just got from Ghana. Just feel free during any time throughout the night to go by, take a look. Bidding usually starts between $50 and $100 depending on the item. Mark it down, write your name to start the bid, and then be sure to check on it throughout the night, and we'll notify you if you won.
Thank you very much, Jay Sarkodie. Please give a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, so the next segment is going to be the opening and I will go ahead and call Renee and Eugene.
Hi, good evening, everybody. Good evening. That was kind of not excellent. Good evening. Good evening, everybody. That's more like it. I think you guys are excited to be here. But as our MC said and our host said, thank you very much for taking the time in your day to join us here. GHPN, we're celebrating us tonight, like they said, because I think one wise man said one day that you can't sit around and wait for somebody else to come celebrate us. So we created this event to celebrate. We created this event to celebrate us. And thank you everybody for dressing up, looking beautiful, spending your money and your time with us today. A round of applause for yourselves, please. All right, I'm Eugene Ozu. During the day, I work in data analytics and business intelligence, which basically means I make sense out of numbers, a whole bunch of data. I tell stories with data. That's the best way to describe it. And my co-host here is...
My name is Renee Usuanza, and my day job is a public health manager. I work in public health for Dallas County.
Thank you. So I'm up here to say welcome. I hope you enjoy yourselves. Meet somebody new. And Renee's going to tell us why we're here today.
Why are we here? Do y'all know why we're here? No. Well, I'll tell you. So we're here to raise some funds. So like they said before, please take a bid. The more money we make, the more that we can give for the scholarship fund. So we're here to raise money for a scholarship fund for people who are going to college. The ticket sales that we got, our sponsors that we had, it all goes toward that cause. So please, if you feel out of the goodness of your heart you want to give us some money, we will take it. Just let one of us know. Our board members are here on the side, so you can let one of us know and we can go ahead and make those arrangements for you.
So GHPN, thanks for gathering with us. I hope all you individuals eventually become members of GHPN. We're just a group of like-minded individuals. They're trying to put Ghana in a good light. So again, welcome and thank you, and enjoy the rest of the night. And I'll be back. Thank you.
So, Effie, I want to ask you a question.
What is it?
Can you sing the Ghana national anthem?
Oh, I see some people in the audience laughing.
They are laughing. Why don't we bring them up to sing?
Yeah, why don't we ask them?
Yeah.
What do you think? How does it start?
You know what? Let's just pick one person. I'm going to go to the left, you go to the right.
Okay, should I start humming something?
Yeah, so you can start harassing some people. Okay. So we want to know if you're a real Ghanaian. You came to the Ghana Professional Network events.
Who was laughing the hardest? Who was laughing?
Should we pick a lady or a gentleman?
The one who's staring. Who's staring?
Who's staring? You don't want to look at my eyes.
Nobody wants to.
Everybody's looking away.
Well, we're gonna hum it with you, right?
Okay, I think I found something.
Okay, just the first line.
want the Ghana version too.
Yes, sir.
Just the first line. You got it.
God bless our homeland, Ghana, that it may our nation great and strong, both to defend forever, because of freedom and of pride, with true humility, make us cherish fearless honesty, and help us to resist oppressors.
Thank you very much. Give a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
Beauty. I don't know if you've all noticed, but there are beautiful gift bags from our sponsor. If you look inside, there's some treats in there for your natural hair. As you can see, I came with my natural hair this evening. So we want to thank our sponsor for the products that they provided for us. And Ajwa Beauty is a proud Ghanaian. So if you haven't tried any of her products, give it a shot. And you can find her products available at, I think, Ulta,
Sephora,
and your regular retail stores like Target and Walmart and things like that. So take a look at those gift bags and see.
and it's actually exclusively at Sephora. So there you go. I drop you. Yes.
So exclusively at Sephora.
Yeah.
So we'll go ahead and call up our next presenter. This is the chairperson of the Ghanaian Professionals Network. His name is Jeffrey Paul Apple. He is a system engineer, and he hails from Elmina, Ghana. Jeffrey?
Please give a round of applause for Jeffrey.
Thank you for the warm introduction. You all will agree that moments like this show the importance of a community or a tribe. Looking at 5 years ago, I never would have imagined standing here celebrating Ghanaian achievements and celebrating us. I stand before you on this beautiful evening to share a brief history of the Ghanaian Professionals Network, how we came into existence, what we stand for, our impact within the community, and also empower you to become a member if you're not. I want to take this moment to recognize our founder, Leonardo. Let's Glenn around. In 2017, Glenn came to me, including a few friends, most of whom are here tonight, to share his vision of bringing professionals to impact change within our community. From the jump, we knew it was a great idea, so we hopped on board to make sure that his vision came to life. GhPN seeks to bring professionals in the diaspora together to form a strong and vibrant community so we can impact change within our individual lives and our community as a whole. With our current group of members, we've been impacting our community positively ever since the formation of this organization. I'm very proud of all we have accomplished over the years. And a list of our impacts over the years include: we've had educational forums where we educated our members on a wide range of topics. We've had knowledge sessions where we invited experts in their respective fields to come in and share their knowledge and experience with our members. We've had academic scholarships, the reason why we're here. We've issued numerous scholarships to students going to college and also help them navigate college life. Community outreach. Every year our members go into the community to extend our warmth to their less privileged.
We also offer mentorship programs to our members, those who are looking to walk in the paths of different professionals and need certain guidance or of anything of sort. We offer mentorship programs to our members. And also, we have social and networking events. I don't know if you've been to any of our happy hours or game nights or social gatherings. They are fun. Enough said with that. The list goes on, and we strive to provide initiatives to improve our community. There is a lot of wonderful professionals here tonight. I implore each one of you to bring your unique experience on board as we grow and better our community. There is this quote by Caesar Chavez that I like, and it goes, "We cannot seek achievement for ourselves and forget about the progress and prosperity of our community. Our ambitions must be broad enough to include the aspirations and needs of others for their sakes and for our own." Before I leave, I would like you to turn to the back of the programs in front of you. At the bottom right, there's a QR code, and I encourage each one of you to support this organization. It doesn't matter how big or small. With your help, we can put in place certain initiatives to propel this organization forward. I end by saying a big thank you to everyone that contributed to the success of tonight's celebration, and to our sponsors. Your generosity is highly appreciated. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jeffrey. So we're going to call on our next speaker to speak more on the purpose of our gala tonight, and also about the mentoring and scholarship program. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome to the stage, Akosia.
Welcome. Good evening. How are you? Let's try it one more time. When I say Akwaba, it means welcome in one of our languages in Ghana. So if I say Akwaba, you respond. Yeah. Thank you. So let's try one more time. Akwaba. That's more like it. Come on, let's give it some love. Akwaba. Welcome everyone. You look beautiful. Thank you for honoring our invitation. Thank you for coming. Your presence means a lot to us. This is beautiful to see Ghanaians doing great things in our community. Ghanaians not waiting for a handout, but Ghanaians who have seen a need in our community and rising to the occasion. Not just Ghanaians, but Ghanaians with friends all over who support us in our endeavors. So give it up for yourselves. I thank you, and on behalf of all of the board members, everyone who's volunteered for GHPN, thank you so much. I hope you understand the purpose that has brought us together tonight. GHPN, as you've heard, first of all, who knows what GHPN stands for? I'm here in Ghana. That go my son. Was that my son? Come on, Caden, what did you say? Very good. Ghanaian So if you look at the core foundation and the mission behind Ghanaian Professionals Network, I want you to take something home. Don't be a standby spectator and point the finger at what is not working in our community. To not sit and point the finger at what is not working, but to be action driven. Do you hear me? To be what? Action driven. So I commend all of you, GHPN, for your hard work. And if you look at And what is common within all the professionals within GHPN, education is our common denominator. And to everyone who is sitting in a seat here, I know the importance of education in our community. Don't you all? So to have Africans who have traveled so far to attain a certain level of education and to embrace their young brothers and sisters as they embark on education is a beautiful thing, because we are taking action and making a positive impact in our community. So this is what GHPN is about. So I am here to talk to you a little bit about why we believe education is important and how we show our support by helping with our scholarship opportunities. Because we want to be what? Action-driven. Can you say action-driven? All right. So a little bit about what GHPN has been able to share so far. And I'm very honored to share a quote from Kofi Annan, who we all know, the proud son of Ghana. He says, education is a human right with immense power to transform. Let that sink in. Education is a human right with what? Do you believe that? So do you believe all of you have the ability, the immense power to transform? That is what we are doing with GHPN. All right, Mr. Eugene, we'll move on to the next slide. A little bit about GHPN scholarship opportunities. We want to not just recognize academic abilities, but to also look at athletic and artistic abilities, because we want to recognize the many talents within our community. So when GHPN awards scholarships, they believe that by sponsoring or supporting a student who was once like you, we can also make an immense contribution in our society. So, next slide. You saw on the previous slide that we've been able to so far help about a dozen students with 6,000 scholarships. And I commend the members of GHPN. You know how a little pebble can make quite a mighty wave in the ocean? That is what GHPN is setting out to set an example to all of us. So as you sit here tonight, I want you to remember the impact GHPN wants to make in our community. So I'll end with a Ghanaian proverb. And for those of you who know the language, pardon me if I make a mistake. It says, in Sabako, it's a little kind of, but I'll explain it. It really means one hand cannot lift the burden, the load, cannot do the work on its own. So we are calling you to join us hand in hand with GHPN, because when you join us to sponsor, to support our mission, we can make an immense contribution in our community. Thank you.
Please give a round of applause for Ms. Akosia. As she mentioned, the purpose of our gathering this evening is for a scholarship. So if you look on the back of your program, pick that up. You will see that there is a little box on the bottom of your pamphlet. It should be on the bottom left corner. If you scan it, that gives you the opportunity to donate if you have the means to do that. So take the opportunity either this evening or later on and scan that QR code, and you'll have the ability to donate. So I will go ahead and bring up our next guest. One of our sponsors is Goodson Acura. Hello, Councilman. Looking lovely. I love the Kente stalls that she's wearing. Hi.
My name is Oliver. I'm With me is Brandon Johnson, our General Sales Manager at Good Snack here in Dallas. And first off, we wanted to thank the Ghana Professionals Network for the opportunity of allowing us to be here today. We were fortunate back in 2019, prior to COVID and everything else, to host a local meeting at our dealership. And the one thing I took out of the 40 to 50 people that came to our store was just the sincerity and the genuineness of everybody that came to our store. So ever since then, we've been very honored to be a part of this great organization. A little background on Good Snack here in Dallas. We're privately owned, we're family owned and operated. In fact, our owner is actually a minority as well. And myself, being a first-generation American, the Ghana Professionals Network is something that we take a lot of pride in supporting. An interesting little sidebar, our CEO, his son, Cameron McCullum, is currently actually working in Ghana. He's working with the Ghana's Ministry of Justice to increase access to the justice for all Ghana citizens through the implementation of plea bargaining and the expansion of state-funded public defenders. Cameron's in charge of the Pepperdine University Institute and visits Ghana at least quarterly, and they've had amazing success in changing things in Ghana. With that small connection, it's a small world. So I was also told to make this as much of a sales pitch as possible. So we were told everybody in here was trading in their cars tonight for Acura's. But I doubt everybody came in here to trade their cars in. So on that note, I'll make this part short and sweet. Good Snack here, Dallas. We're here for all your sales, service, parts, collision, all of your needs. We're your one-stop shop. The average consumer might not know this, but when you decide to do business with somebody like us, it's equivalent to going to your local coffee shop instead of going to a Starbucks for your morning cup of coffee. We're privately owned and operated, and you're supporting a smaller business rather than a corporately owned entity. We've got the most tenured management staff in all the country for any Acura store, and we have the flexibility to make sure you have a great experience with us, and we'll move heaven and earth to make sure that you do. More importantly, we couldn't be more excited for the Acura brand. With the redesigned MDX, with the return of the Integra, the lineup is more exciting than it's ever been, and we couldn't be more excited. I'm sure we can help find everyone's Acura needs in this room. Please feel free to reach out if you guys have any vehicle concerns to myself, Brandon. Anything we can do to help, we're here. We look forward to a continued relationship with this great organization, and thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, right now we're going to start our dinner, and we're going to go 2 tables at a time. So if you're please paying attention to me.
It's Masterell on the beat, baby.
The remix, baby.
It's a killer. Oh yeah. Oh no. Oh yeah. Tell me what make I do. Tell me how make I treat you, my baby. I don't know you miss so. Love what they do me so. More don't know who mommy kiss it. Anga wanga sa you go see say. My I'm ready to give you a dough. My woman, reason me need baby I go. The drum in your
Tell me what thing I go do.
Tell me what thing I go do.
My number 1 + 1 is 2.
1 + 1 is 2. 1 + 1. Yeah.
Tell me what thing I go do.
Tell me what thing I go do.
Tell me what thing girl go do. I cannot lie, I dey feel your body. Make I no lie, you dey do me so cheap. Try. If I give you my heart and you break her, now so you dey shine when I say come. And I mean you dey used to dey make fun. Make fun. Somebody tell me what this girl go do. Oh, somebody tell me what this girl gon' do. Put you
me now you cool, girl. Let me tell them how the thing goes. How the thing goes. Okay. Chebe make a tamua. Say my kina go drink God. You want to bamba? You wanna G with the big boys? Now you the wrong, get the kitty, you the wrong, get the coffee drink with the chop cup. Hey, so you see how the thing goes. How the thing goes. Oh, you're telling me who been through? And who? Alright, take it easy and let's listen behind the waist. Okay. Go school, you go the time tools. And all the parameters that you want to farm through. See, even your papa not to save you. For all the calamity when they pick it done through. Man, all the niggas don't find you. Because that niggas put your girl more, you don't move. Oh, boy, you don't move. Ha, hey, come on, let's go. Chebe make a tamua. Say my kina go drink God. You want to bamba? You wanna G with the big boy? Now you the wrong, get the kitty, you the wrong, get the coffee drink with a drop cup. Hey, Chebe, you see how the thing goes? Yeah, how the thing goes. I said, telling me who blamed you. And who? Okay, because you made it to the top throne. Let me see what my God Father can do. Cause he's the father to the fatherless, and mother to the motherless, and not to know what can do. But promise not to fight again, not to do anything that we want again. Cause if you do, let me see you don't wrong again. And another time you go on again, that's what. Chebe make a tamua. You want to go drink God. You want to bamba? You wanna G with the big boys? Now you the wrong, get the kitty, you the wrong, get the coffee drink with a chop cup. Hey, Chebe, you see me?
Gaija, Swinkia kama minizu chiana, Swinkia kama minio yana, Alidu, Amidu, Fadimatana Santa, Asana, Kubura, Chematana Santa, Mankia Baba Ninki Siada, Nyamgo Chibi Yata Kulumagana, she's a Masagusa, we come here, Guya, she's a Masagusa, we come here, Guya, Masayana, oh, Gaija, Zuchiana, Gaija, live it on one, not day, one live it on one, one live it on one, not day, one live it on one, one live it on one, not day, one live it on one, one live it on one, not day, one live it on one, one live it on one, not day, one live it on one, one live it on one, not day.
I love the message of the song, saying that God will do it. If we pray to Him, we tell Him our needs, He hears us. So I love the song. Ladies, you did a fabulous job. You look so beautiful. Everybody give them a round of applause. Miss Anna, could you please come to the back? So this is Ado. You did a lovely job helping the girls and training them and teaching them and giving them the knowledge of our culture. So please tell us a little bit of what we saw.
Thank you. This is playing the work on. Give it up for the girls. They did. I'm so proud of all of our girls. We have Jade, Myara, Myla, Trudy, and Amma and Shana. And I'm so proud. As I tried to catch my breath, they worn me out. They've dedicated so much time to really, remember we said making a positive impact, remember? Yes. You all look familiar, you should remember that, right? When we obviously mentioned it to the girls, I'm sure they were excited. And to see that they've grown up in this country. Otherwise, not that common. What you saw was a traditional Ashanti dance, and doing our very best to instill in them parts of our culture that makes us so unique. And so I give it up to all of you beautiful girls for the effort that you've put in today. You are making a positive impact in your community, and I'm very proud of you. And this is just the beginning of something great. You know, when I was a little girl in Ghana, I was in boarding school, and I started dancing around their age. And it is something that I just love dancing. I love all things Ghana. So it is something that I feel I could also contribute. So to see them pick up this mantle and to do something that is culturally relevant, it's a beautiful thing to see. So don't forget to sow these seeds within your own families, right? If we're saying presenting ourselves to the world, what makes us unique is our own identities, and what great way to represent Ghana. So please give it up for all of our beautiful women.
Thank you so much for the time and effort that you took to help these ladies start their way. And speaking of making an impact, we did mention that we have one of our sponsors. Again, if you haven't looked inside your goodie bag, one of our sponsors is Ajwa Beauty. So we do have our sponsor here. If she can, please, Marion, would you mind coming up? And contribution to the community.
Thank you for having us. My name is Marion Marshall, and I'm responsible for everything that moves at Ajwa Beauty. That's what I tell people that I do. Customer orders, anything that goes to our manufacturer, that goes to our major retailer. Ajwa Beauty is a modern, non-toxic, gender-neutral beauty brand for multicultural hair. The founder and CEO, Julian Otto, her father is Ghanaian, and the business is an arcane name, which means born on Monday. I want to tell you a short, very, very brief story about how we got here based on what you were saying about believing. Ajwa Beauty started in 2017. In 2019, Sephora, the largest retailer of beauty brands in the world, came to us. And we launched in Sephora in the middle of COVID. And we didn't know, we really didn't know. But we have grown that brand, and I am proud to say that it is 100% woman-owned, 100% black-owned. With some of our products. If you look on the back of the product, I think there's a mini shampoo and treatment in there. If you have any question about how to use it, there is a small QR code. Just hold up your phone to it. It'll tell you how to find it. Ajwa Beauty is carried in all of the Sephora stores in the U.S. and all 93 stores in Canada. And we're looking forward to expanding to Europe next year. We appreciate your support. Avino, which is one of our star models that we love. We appreciate it. So please use the product. We'd like to get your feedback. Please leave your, of course it's a BSA. Please leave your feedback at Sephora.com. Please come out to our website, which is ajwabeauty.com. And thank you, and you guys are doing a great work, and we are so happy to be a part of this. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you to our sponsor, Ajwa Beauty.
Yes, thank you very much, Ajwa Beauty. Okay, so right now we would like to call upon our keynote speaker for a presentation. Help me welcome to the stage, Yvonne Whitaker. Give a round of applause. She looks beautiful.
Good evening, everyone. here with you all today. My name is Yvonne Whitaker, and I'm a student at Columbia Business School. I'm also a first-generation Ghanaian American. I'm so delighted to be able to share my thoughts as an African with so many other Africans in the room and with others with deep interest in our continent and the future of Africa. Growing up, I found myself confused about my identity. Was I American first or was I Ghanaian first? As I grew older, I grew into my duality as a Ghanaian American and learning more about myself and the role that my intersectionality played in society. As years went by, I started learning what being a Ghanaian American meant for me, leveraging my U.S. education to address the challenges and gaps in infrastructure back home, not just for Ghana or West Africa, but the entire continent. Last summer, at my internship at Nike, I conducted a customer analysis for Kylian Mbappe. And if you follow soccer, or should I say football, you know that Kylian Mbappe was born and raised in France. However, his father was from Cameroon and his mother from Algeria, making him African descent, and first-generation French Cameroonian and first-generation French Algerian. However, we only conducted the analysis for his fans in Europe and fans in the US. So when I asked why we didn't conduct analysis on his fans in Cameroon or the continent at all, where he's from, my directors informed me that Africa is not a region that is lucrative enough for us to invest our dollars in for the analysis. These are the micro challenges we face every single day, and these are the problems that we can solve. We need to use our voices to speak up and make the change in large organizations so that they and others alike understand the importance and the value that our countries on the continent bring to modern day society. To address challenges like that, last year, in my first year of business school, I joined a venture capital firm called Limited Ventures, backed by the Forbes and Rockefeller family. Through that venture, I was very adamant about uplifting Ghanaian voices and putting more capital into the hands of Ghanaians. I'm proud to share that in January, I launched the West African Innovation Fund, and in partnership with Fidelity Bank of Ghana, the fund focuses on providing Ghanaians with access to invest in Silicon Valley startups, specifically large-stage deals, to then leverage their returns and reinvest their dollars in early-stage startups in West Africa. I see Africa as the next frontier for greatness, with our young population promising richness through our awesome diversity. We learn from older generations. We have the creativity, the optimism, the lust for freedom to continue to turn things around and push the momentum forward. Our continent is at a tipping point as we begin to change the narrative away from colonialism, slavery, apartheid, and all events similar of the past, and look ahead to the Renaissance born in Africa, driven by us Africans, and most importantly, our African dream. Africa is awakening. It's a huge market of 1 billion people with huge resources and an extremely young demographic, and it's truly the best place to invest. Globally, innovation is largely driven by the youth as the key to unlocking a better future. We're energetic, we're creative, and we're willing to take on risks. We look to older generations to guide and to mentor, to invest and support. We're not just the future, but we are the present. And it is our responsibility to bring about a better future and a better lives for ourselves, our families, aunties and uncles, cousins and grandparents who left their home countries with the aspirations for us to do so. Africa has the talent, the vision, and the resources to rise to greatness. And it's not just a dream, it's really becoming a reality. As you saw in the video that unfortunately didn't get to be played, investment dollars are being placed more and more into startups in the continent. You hear Afrobeats walking down the aisle of Target, and your everyday Jane or Joe, or even Gabrielle Union and Dwayne Wade wearing the latest Ankara top from the latest visit to Ghana. Because of our growing exposure, we as Africans are and must be even more active in finding global solutions to global problems. I just left New York City where it's nearly 70 degrees in November, and whether you believe in global warming and in the need to slow down climate change, the Green Revolution is underway and it will help to fuel the African Renaissance. Bear in mind that 80% of the green minerals for your electric vehicles and other technologies in the future come straight from Africa. Africa is soon to have the world's largest workforce, with 2% year-over-year growth over the last 20 years. Africa as we know it is the next China or India, growing in several different sectors such as agriculture, healthcare, fintech, tourism, and so much more. We're the generation of entrepreneurship, and as former US President Barack Obama said, Africa's progress will depend on unleashing economic growth, not just for a few at the top, but for the many, because an essential element of dignity is being able to live a decent life. That begins with a job, and that requires entrepreneurship, trade, and investment. If you're a follower of geopolitics and the economic development of Africa, you will be aware of the current emergence of the African Continental Free Trade Area. It's Africa's answer to the European Union. This will be a game changer for our entire continent, and it is remarkable and marvelous that it has been agreed to by almost all the governments in Africa. We are now seeing the fourth African industrial revolution as we reset our continent to a higher level of production, growth, and prosperity. Like many of you, I was very disappointed by the latest World Bank and IMF growth projections for sub-Saharan Africa, which we've been revised downwards. And we're now expected to grow by 3.6% in 2022, which is down from 4.7% in 2021. So despite our own energy, determination, and optimism, we will need to continue to grow as a nation, as a continent, and I'm sure that there are so many people in this room who will make a difference in Africa's overall economy. I'm excited to continue living through my purpose and vision of the bright, exciting, and dynamic future of Africa. Millennials and Gen Z, we are truly in a time where our work propels the narrative forward. How can we truly continue to meet the moment? I'm so humbled to stand in front of you all today as a Ghanaian American raised by my hardworking and resilient parents, Constance and Alan, who raised me to understand the importance of my Ghanaian culture and heritage here in the United States and the role my duality plays in society. To all the award recipients and those nominated, I'm so proud of all of the work you've accomplished, and I'm very excited to see all of the amazing and innovative things that you all do in the future. I want to leave you with a video from former President of Ghana, His Excellency John Kufuor, who recorded a video for Columbia Business School for our conference that was held 2 weeks ago, as I feel this message is very applicable to a forum like this one. Thank you so much to the Ghanaian Professional Network Planning Committee for having me, and I hope you all enjoy.
For being our keynote speaker. If you don't mind, could you please tell us what the video is?
Yeah, so it's I don't think the sound is working, but it's essentially a 2-minute video of former President John Kufuor really seeing his vision for Gen Z and young millennials being the future of Africa and continuing on the theme of meeting the moment, essentially meaning what are we doing as Africans to meet what we are doing here in the Western world, whether it's in the US, Europe, and so many other countries, to keep making our culture, our people, our food mainstream in the countries that we live in.
The message that you gave us, it's just so empowering, and it just makes me wonder how you were able to stay so focused. I mean, do you face any challenges? Like, how are you able to handle the status quo, the challenges of the status quo?
Well, growing up with my parents, they made sure that I never gave up. I think a lot of us here, we all grew up with Ghanaian parents that didn't allow us to give up, or, if we failed, making sure that we persevere and try for the next thing. But in terms of the status quo, I think a lot of the times sometimes it's easy to have imposter syndrome. It's very, very easy to when you're the only Black person in the room, the only immigrant, only first generation American. It's very hard to remember where your confidence comes from. And so, just continuing to know who you are and use your voice to push some of those norms in the room to make change.
And I, definitely can relate to you. Just like you, I am a first generation that was born in the United States. My mom is in the room. She's back there. But just like her and my late father, my mom stood up. That's my mom. So just like Miss Whitaker said, my parents and my late father, Alexander Holbrook, they came as immigrants to the United States with the intent of making sure that we can make it, just like everybody else in this room, wanting to make it, to have a better life and to pursue greater education. So we want to thank you for taking the opportunity to come out and be one of our keynote speakers. And I do have one more question for you before you leave. Have you encountered any failures? And if so, how did you handle it? Because I know that there are some people in this room that is not a stranger to challenge or failure. So since you're doing such a wonderful job and we want to continue to encourage you, please give us some encouraging words on how we can manage failure.
Yeah, so I'll tell you one story. When I was in undergrad, and I went to Georgetown in Washington, D.C. As a freshman, I applied for the freshman representative position for the Africa Club on campus. And I was denied and was told that I wasn't African enough. My last name, the percentage of my blood, whatever. And so for a really long time, I let that discourage me in terms of, oh, I shouldn't go to this party, or I shouldn't sing this Afrobeat song because somebody will judge me and will think I'm trying too hard to be this identity. But just as I grew older, I realized that nobody else's opinion matters other than my own, and my identity is what resonates with me. And now being in business school, now 8 years later, I ran for president of the Africa Business Club at Columbia and was selected.
Yeah, Ms. Whitaker, that was really good. Thank you for that. I actually have one more question for you. So when you were speaking, you did talk about, I'm a really big soccer or European football fan, so I know all about Kylian Mbappe. My question is, how did you get into your career?
So I started off, once I graduated undergrad, in consulting, which is the profession people say if you don't know what you want to do, go into consulting. And at the time, I didn't really know what I wanted to do. During that time, I uncovered a path of going to business school to get my MBA and learn a little bit more about business. And through that, I got on different projects where I learned a little bit more about HR, human capital, marketing, and realized I fell in love with marketing. So I am now in business school pursuing my MBA, majoring in marketing and finance. And through that process, they have a lot of internship programs that you can apply for. I applied to be a marketing intern at Nike. So I spent this summer at Nike in Portland, Oregon, and I was placed on a team that was working with Kylian Mbappe as my client.
Wow. Please give a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, one more time.
Thank you so much, Amar. Woo! And please give a round of applause. Okay, so what we're going to do now is have a presentation of awards. So we're going to ask our fellow peers of GhPN to please start to make your way to the stage, to the DJ booth, as we begin to hand out the awards to organizations and groups of people that have been pioneering in the community and doing great works.
Girls
we are making some impact. We have somebody that has gone into Nike, has gone into Columbia University, and there are other people that are in excellent professions that are doing well. So if you have any knowledge or any wisdom that you'd like to share, please don't be shy. You have some ears that are willing to listen so that we can continue to be successful as a people and keep moving forward. Hello.
Okay, my name is Mavis Wachi Thomas. I am a member of GhPN, of course. For profession, I'm a psychotherapist. I was born in Kumasi, Ghana, but raised in Texas. And GhPN to me is an opportunity to collaborate with other professionals and most importantly, guide the youth. Yeah, so what about you?
Thank you, Mavis. Well, my name is Akwesi Riafi Efuriye. In terms of my connection to Ghana, I was born in Ghana, raised in Ghana. I claim to be from Amori, offensive district of the Ashanti region, but I found out as an Ashanti, you claim your mom's side. So I'm officially declaring today that I am from my mom's side, of course, in the Afro region. For me, what GhPN is a family. I call it a village family, so to speak. In terms of the organization itself, I encourage you to do more. A lot of successful people here in this organization. I love what we're about, giving back. So, it always encourages me to, even when I'm down, I'm like, dude, you gotta get out and work hard because there's a lot of people we gotta, get out there and help. So yeah, that's what GhPN is to me.
Okay, and thank you, Lucy. And so we get the opportunity of presenting the first award. I think the other ones want to see how we do before they come out here. And so we're going to be presenting an award to the Distant Relatives Project, but before we do that, we wanted to say a few things about them. This project was established in 2017 by William Asiedu in his mother's hometown of Akimano. The vision for the Distant Relatives Project was to create an outlet for the public to give back to the community in a manner that changes lives and connects the diaspora to Africa through fellowship. With the help of his family and friends, this project has created a team of passionate individuals to assist those in desperate need.
This organization has donated over 8,000 laptops to the primary schools in the eastern region of Ghana. Thank you. Done a tremendous job. Not only that, they have donated toiletries, clothing. If memory serves me right, they have also donated some medical supplies as well to hospitals, 8 hospitals in Ghana. Yes. So can we give them a round of applause as well? Yes. They have fed through their feeding our distant relatives. They've fed over 15,000 people. Yes. And we have the privilege of serving with them this year. A round of applause again. Okay, without further ado.
So for their tenacity and continued commitment to improve the lives of others, the Ghanaian Professionals Network proudly recognizes the Distant Relatives Project with the Aya Award. Can we get a representative for? Thank you so much for everything that you've done and what you continue to do.
Thank you, thank you.
Hi everyone, it's good to see you all. I have the pleasure of introducing my attorney friend here, Kwame, who is from Echim and Kenta in Ghana. And fun fact, he coaches the Little League soccer.
Before I mention her name, I would like to say a little bit about this radiant lady over here. She is of Ghanaian and Nigerian descent. She's lived in 5 cities spanning Africa, Europe, and the United States. I mean, guys, she's the quintessential United Nations. Now, I want you to give it up to Miss DC.
So, why did you join GhPN?
Well, for several reasons, but one quality I could identify myself with was the excellence with which GhPN executes their goal. It resonated with me. As a matter of fact, I was part of the founding members, but like the prodigal son, I went and did some things, but I came back. Now, enough about me. Why GhPN?
Yeah, so I moved out to Dallas a couple of months ago for the purpose of being a community and being a network. And somebody told me about GhPN, and as I got to know more about the organization, I really appreciated its efforts to connect Ghanaian professionals and expose its communities to opportunities, and I just wanted to be a part of that, so that's why.
Wonderful. Let's give it up. Well, enough about us.
Yeah, let's get down to business. So one of the things I love about being in spaces like this is that you get to find individuals, organizations that are doing meaningful and impactful work. One of which is the Council of Ewe Association of North America. Sienna has been allocating its resources since 1994 to developing deprived communities that, through its rehabilitation of health clinics and high school scholarships. And so we see you, Sienna, and we want to acknowledge you for the amazing work that you've been doing. What do we have for them, Kwame?
Well, I feel like a proud parent right now because I love Sienna. Thanks for your kind words. So this Ejikra symbol says Nia Opese Odi Hene, which roughly translates to whosoever wants to be king. Now this award is going to Sienna for its service and leadership in our community. So at this point I would like to welcome the president and officials from Sienna, Dallas.
Congratulations.
And if you're wondering where you come from and you've not figured it out yet, come join us.
Doesn't she look lovely? Give her a hand. Hello, my name is Nana Baker Thompson. I am the Vice President of GhPN.
And hi, my name is Nancy Patin.
So Nancy, what's your favorite GhPN event?
My favorite GhPN event is this GALA because we get to dress up and we get to raise funds for our scholarship program. So please don't forget to give us, don't forget to donate.
All right, we're here today to present the HSM Award to Dr. Gwepo and Cynthia Hazel. They created the GD project, which is dedicated to tackling health inequities in minority and underserved communities. Through health education, medical student mentorship, cultural and competency training, and health equity clinics. They do a lot.
They do. And in 2021, they were nominated for the Excellent Promotion of Health Equity Award by the Colorado Public Health Association. They will be awarded with the Inchichim Adipra Symbol Award, which means twisted, and it is a symbol of being initiative and dynamic. These are qualities reflected in their work in the minority community healthcare education and advocacy. The Ghanaian Professional Network proudly recognizes Bo and Dr. Cynthia Hazel.
Give him a hand, give him a hand.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, GhPN, your leadership, your members. This is a wonderful initiative. I want to thank my dear wife, Cynthia. I think she's been an excellent leader and partner. And I also want to thank all our members and our community volunteers who've been helping make this possible in Denver. I'll hand this over to Cynthia now.
Well, thank you all, GhPN, for this honor. We really feel very encouraged to continue the work that we're doing. And just to tell you a little bit about the GD project and how it started and how we came about doing this work, you know. Over the years, because we are both in health, I mean, Kweku just being a physician, I've kind of listened to a lot of conversations he's had with different community members who call, you know, to talk to him about health issues and, you know, what they're going through. And we came to realize that, you know, there's this concept, just being in public health, this concept of learned helplessness that our community display a lot. And that is just that acceptance that some situations are out of your control. And when it comes to health, I think that we began to realize that some people or some community members that we relate with have just accepted that living a healthier lifestyle is something that is out of their control. Well, I can't go to the gym every day, I can't do this, I can't do that. It's out of my control. But through the GD project, what we decided to do was to empower people to realize that no, you do have some control, that there's something that you can do today to live a healthier lifestyle. And our ultimate goal is to empower people to not only take that control over their own lives, but to also begin to fight the inequality, the systemic inequalities that, you know, make them accept that concept of learned helplessness. So today I want to extend that challenge to you all. We both live in Denver. We came here tonight for this program, but we want to extend that message to you all here in Dallas that you do have control more than you think you do. And I want you to do that for yourself and for your families and for your community. We can become a healthier community in Denver. Thanks again.
I work in data analytics and I'm from Almina, Central Region.
And my name is Renee again, and I'm first generation, and I live in Texas.
We're here to present the GhPN Award. The GhPN is an Idiocrat symbol that symbolizes strength and humility. This year's recipient is no other than the Ghana Nurses Association.
Education, screenings, providing financial assistance to patients that have difficulty paying for their bills. The Ghana Nurses Association has made their mark both locally and back home in Ghana. Since its inception in 2008, the GNADFW Association has made quite an impact. One notable story is their financial support of a bright little boy who will undergo bilateral knee and spinal surgeries to help improve his mobility. Please, the Nurses Association.
prestigious award. When you call GNA, you don't call one person, you call the whole clan. That's right. It feels great to be recognized, when you do something in the community and everybody sees what you do. There's so much GNA has done. It's not enough. We are hoping to do more. Everything that we do, it's basically from our own pocket. We want to thank GHP and we want to thank you all, we want to thank the Ghanaian community for your support. Anytime we call and we ask for support, you all come through and you help us. At the moment, everything we do again is from our dues. So we do everything from our own pocket. We went home last year. We are planning to go back next year to donate again. This time we want to go and do more of a hands-on work with the nurses, to help and see what they do. Last year we donated about a 40-foot container of medical supplies. We visited about 8 clinics. We went to Pantai Clinic also. We do have a land, Pantai community gave us the land to build a clinic, and that's our project that we want to accomplish. So we are asking for support, and we are hoping that, not that we are hoping, we know the community will do that because they've been supporting every time we ask for your support. So we also want to ask you for your prayers as we are planning or embarking to leave and go home next year to do what we do best. Once again, I want to thank all the GNA members, the ones that are here, the ones that couldn't make it. We want to thank you for always being GNA.
tribe or clan right on the west side of the country, and part Ghana too, and part LA. So
a little bit of everything.
Yes.
Right. All right, so Eugene, real quick, how did you hear about GHPN?
How did I hear about GHPN?
Yeah.
So I'm lucky enough to be part of the founding members at the first official meeting, and I owe that to our own in-house mathematician who did daylight sometimes as a DJ.
Flash DJ.
Mr. Hendrix Mason. Yeah, the guy on the keyboard right now. That's how I heard about GHPN. What about yourself?
Same, actually. So that's the common thread between us founders, DJ Calculus. Shout out.
And yes, it's been a great experience for me.
Yep.
And we are sure glad to see so many professionals in the building. And who else better to recognize than the people that are doing the great work in the community. Another round of applause for all our awardees so far.
All right, so we are here to spotlight and accomplish the young man. It's been a pleasure seeing him grow over the years. He has been recognized by Disney, Marvel, Viacom, and has been profiled in Vogue, Forbes, and Hypebeast. So Paco has built Mizizi clothing into a globally recognized brand, one that is fostering connections, culture, and celebrating the continent of Africa. So
yes, and the award we give to Paco today is the Dwafi Award, which is the sign right there above, and it means beauty through his creativeness and the designs that he makes, which I own a few of proudly. I'm glad to present Ms. Paco, the owner and CEO, the founder of Mizizi, with the Dwafi Award. Please join us. incredibly humbled. This is one of the first awards that Ms. Easy has ever won. If it wasn't for the Ghanaian community, we wouldn't be anywhere like that we're here today. Whether it be baby showing love, supporting. Whenever we first released Ms. Easy, our Ghana baseball jersey was sold out in 13 minutes. It was the first product that we sold out of ever. And then shout out to my mama, Ms. Easy mama over there. If you never reached out, hey, don't reach out. She handles all the customer support, so if you've ever reached out to us, if you've had a problem with your products, she's the one that you're speaking to. And again, I'm just so thankful and so grateful for this opportunity and so humble. So thank you guys again.
Prevention, and
I'm Emmanuel Thomas III. I'm a pharmacy data engineer.
And so just wanted to ask Emmanuel, what keeps you engaged with GHPN?
Oh boy, too many things to count, but one is the mentorship, helping out the community, and as an African American, married to a Ghanaian, just give my two daughters, they were dancing for you all, an opportunity to learn their culture, and also to meet some professionals at a very young age. So. Let's get this.
So we're here to present an award to Dr. Paul Mensah.
Yes, so Dr. Paul Mensah's outstanding leadership of pharmaceutical, biotechnological, process development, and clinical supply was instrumental in saving lives in a pivotal moment during the COVID-19 pandemic. Dr. Mensah's team met the immense challenge to deliver an effective Pfizer vaccine in a short time, leveraging new technology.
As head of the Biotherapeutics Pharmaceutical Sciences, Dr. Mensah, the Yansapo Award, which is the Wisdom Knot, the incredible award that represents ingenuity and intelligence, qualities that he has met and exceeded. So just wanted to give this award, and we have Vivian's Coratin to accept the award on his behalf.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. If you think of Dr. Mensah, you are at the wrong event. I'm not Dr. Mensah. Well, I've known Paul since about, 2004, 2005, when he moved to St. Louis to start his job at Pfizer. It was, I don't know what exactly his role was at the time. What I know is, while he was trying to move his stuff into his apartment, his rental car, got stolen in the front of the apartment building. But anyway, we've been through that. We've been through many other things together. But Paul is a great guy. He's a man of few words, and I really was going to let him tell you what he had to say about this award. But I understand a few minutes before I got up here that we had some technical difficulties, so you can't hear Paul. But that's Paul speaking. And what Paul is trying to tell you guys in his few words, I'll summarize it, is that he wishes he could have been here, but he had another appointment. I think they have, Pfizer's doing something in Arizona with a big conference, and so he had to be there. He couldn't be here. He said to congratulate everybody. He's heard about what GHPN is doing. He wishes he could have been here to accept this by himself, but he wants to congratulate GHPN, and he wants to say thank you very much for this recognition.
I'm also the treasurer of GHPN, and I'm from the
lovely co-presenter.
Hello again. My name is Fifi Corentin. I'm an attorney licensed to practice law in 3 states, Texas, Missouri, and Illinois. I own and operate a solo general practice here in the Dallas area. I'm an GhPN man, true and true. My father's from GhPN, my mother's from GhPN, but I was born and raised in Accra, so I claim God as well. But yeah, real quickly, I've been asking people, those who are GhPN members, I've been asking this whole evening how and when they joined. So, Billy, will you tell everybody how and when you joined GhPN?
So I joined GhPN in 2019 after our very own Eugene Azu invited me to a meeting, and he told me all the great things that this organization was doing for the community, and he said that I would really enjoy it, and he was right. So I've been a part of the organization ever since, and I've loved it ever since, and I just love being around like-minded people who love and embrace their culture.
That's awesome.
What about you, Fifi? How long have you been a part of this organization?
Well, it's a little bit of an embarrassing story, right? So, the same Eugene Azu that everybody keeps speaking about invited me to a meeting. I really thought it was a party. But maybe I should have checked the venue. It was at a Methodist church. We were going to have a party at the Methodist church. But I showed up anyway, just to be a good sport. And at that meeting was where this organization got started. So I'm proud to say that I've been a member since day one.
Oh, okay.
So, but enough about you and I. Let's get to the business at hand.
Yes.
That's the reason why these people want us to be out here.
Yes, and the reason why we're here is we're here to present the President's Award. There are leaders just by title and leaders by deeds. This award was instituted to recognize members who assume leadership role and go above and beyond in delivering their set goals and objectives. This individual initiates projects and goes above and beyond to ensure the success of its execution without any excuses.
So, this award recipient has been a critical part of GhPN from its inception in 2017 with unwavering support and dedication. Ladies and gentlemen, it's our utmost pleasure to present this award to my man, my brother from another mother. Where is he? My co-captain, Eugene Azu. Ladies and gentlemen, Eugene Azu.
So yeah, they didn't put this part in the script about how I was gonna be recognized, but thank you. This organization means a lot to me from the perspective that I migrated here when I was like 13, and back then, to what Ibarra was saying, it wasn't too cool to be an African guy, especially in this Dallas Metroplex. But throughout the years, it's become a cool thing to be, but from my perspective, the knowledge that I've gained and what some of the hurdles that I went through, the things that I unfortunately had to learn the hard way, is one of the reasons why I take what GhPN does to heart, in the sense that all these professionals have been through different paths and different journeys to get to where they are. And as a young man, when I reflect back to myself when I was 13, 14, if I just had somebody to call and like, I have this idea, what's your perspective on it? If I had somebody to call, I feel like I'll be a lot better. And then me personally, and I know a lot of people here have people that they look up to, and the pride I take in being part of GhPN is the fact that we have all these individuals from different backgrounds, from teachers, we have lawyers, we have financial professionals, and all array of people. I have a guy here, I'm gonna mention him. He's one of my favorite mentees, Elijah Palm. And what GhPN stands for is what the kind of relationship we have. Any idea or any trouble, anything he needs, he knows he can call me, and I'll give him my honest opinion. I do two things. This is what I did, but what I know now, this is what I'll do different. But if you want somebody else's opinion, call Jeffrey, call Glenn, and they'll tell you what they went through. For me, that's very, very important because the next generation needs their knowledge in a lot faster way than we can. So the purpose of GhPN is just, the people are there, call them if you need them. I said all that to say, I am not deserving of this, but I'll take it proudly, and thank you all.
Between the two cities, but as many of you, we moved to Accra. That's what life is. So I'm a technology specialist by profession, focused on cybersecurity, helping organizations to be cyber resilient. So that's what I do for a living. Yeah, so we are here for a special moment.
Yes, we are. But I have a question for you. What do you think the future of GhPN is? Where do you see GhPN going?
Wow, that is so easy. Just, look around here. GhPN has been existing for 5 years, right? And when you look in the community, you can actually see the impact that GhPN has, brought to this community. So these are the great things that GhPN is doing. And we want to continue because this association has, a brilliant future. But it's one thing that my granddad, before he died in 1998, Komla Akbelibedema, he told me, Kobla, and he said this in heaven, so I'm going to say it in heaven. I said, Kobla, etta deka medena adanu. Let me repeat that. Kobla, etta deka medena adanu. Simple meaning, 2 heads are better than 1. So this is really GhPN is about, so as you are here today, if you really see the mission, the impact this GhPN has in the community, we ask all of you to join this organization, bring your ideas together, let's do this, let's impact this community more. What about you? What do you think about the future?
I dream big. Eugene is my husband, so I have to. I just see, GhPN chapters all over the states. Any state. I see us, doing this across all the states. Colorado, we have representatives over there. It will just be beautiful that this thing that we birthed here in DFW becomes, a national staple for all of us Ghanaians. So, just not dreaming big.
That's good.
All right, back to business.
Now let's go to business.
All right. So this award was instituted to recognize members with extraordinary contribution, commitment, and dedication to GHPN. GHPN's success is highly dependent on such members. They go above and beyond to execute whatever is assigned to them and take initiative to see projects through.
Wow, so the Ghanaian symbol on this award symbolize greatness and leadership. And it couldn't be for anyone, I know all of you here probably deserve that, but there's this one individual that really has, done a lot for GHPN. Continue to, even this current event, support GHPN in so many departments, helping putting things together, right?
Anything that you see here on your table that is beautiful, this person single-handedly did it.
So,
whenever we call her name, please. I think she deserves a standing ovation. This is my personal opinion.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Renee Osuasa.
But we made it work, and I think we did a really great job. So please applaud everybody that was a part of this. We did a wonderful job putting it together. We even a lot more taking it down. But thank you all. Thank you for everything. Thank you to my parents, my brother, my boyfriend. Eugene and Glenn calling you at 6 o'clock in the morning for ideas and questions. Jeffrey, everybody, thank you very much. And let's get this thing started.
Let's give another round of applause to all of our award recipients. There were so many awards in different categories, different programs, different sectors. And we're very proud of everyone who contributed, and we are happy that we were able to recognize you this evening. If you take a moment and look along the walls, you will see that the identifier symbols have been defined for you. So the awards that we handed out this evening are on the pillars around the room. So I will hand the mic over to Mr. Eby. You're still looking handsome, my friend.
Thank you. You're looking very beautiful still. All right, ladies and gentlemen, right now we're going to call upon Jay Sapode to come to the stage for the silent auction. Mr. Jay Sapode, please come to the stage. Thank you.
Hello, how you doing? Hi. My name is Jay Sapode. I don't think I told you what I did for my day job before, so I'm a simple tech sales guy. That's it. So what I'm gonna go over is the silent auction. So, and I'm actually gonna walk this time because we need to review and see who's actually been signing up for it. What? Let's go. So a few people have been making the rounds. It's for a good cause. We're raising funds for the scholarship. There's a lot of beautiful items here, so be sure that you stop on by and take a look, and if there's anything of interest, be sure to put your name down and bid. It starts at $50 for both sides.
So we're just going to go ahead and, for all the sponsors that have helped us here, we couldn't have done it without any of you. So we wanted to give a token of our thanks for
receive recognition, certificate of recognition. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Next is Elite Vision Center. Elite Vision Center.
They came as a team. She said she's a mom and daughter team. Mom and daughter, please. Thank you. Thank you for your sponsorship. Thank you.
And last but not least, men's group, logistics. Thank you.
Men's group, logistics. Thank you so much for your support and your sponsorship.
Thank you.
That's all we have. Again, can we please give a round of applause to all of our sponsors? That would be Goodson Acura, Elite Vision Center, Men's Shipping, and Exit Realty. Also, there is another realtor in the back corner, Imelda Ashite. We want to recognize you because we do realize that you have some products. So we want to thank you. If you guys are looking for a home or have any other questions, please reach out to her. She'll be able to assist.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for everything. Right now, we'd like to give our final remarks. So please help me welcome to the stage,
yes,
Mr. Glenn Addo and Mr. Jeffrey Anthony.
It's overwhelming to see what GHPN is today. I've been a small idea that friends sat down and just wanted to create something to keep us accountable. Because a lot of times we talk, we have ideas, and once we walk away, it's forgotten and nothing happens. And that's funny to something that this organization wanted to give back to the community because of all the things that we've been through. And so being here tonight, it's not possible without you being here to support us. So I'm overwhelmed. I know you saw the two awards that we presented. There's no successful organization with such individuals. We can have an idea, put it forward, but if you don't have people backing you up, supporting the vision, it's not going to work. So being the founder is the easiest part. The people who actually do the work and let the organization thrive is the most important part. So as I'm here today, should have introduced myself. I'm Glenn Addo. I'm a beautiful wife over there, Akosi Addo. She's the one who did the cultural dance and spoke. She's also been part of the organization since day one. My background is in electrical engineering. I do project management. The most exciting part of my life is when I'm giving back. When we hand out those scholarship awards and we see the excitement on the faces of those students, that makes us want to do more. And that's the main objective of why we're here tonight. So, I know it's also an opportunity for us to look good and come out and take pictures, but we shouldn't lose sight of the main objective, to give back to the youth who are behind us, share our experiences, and also through our scholarship and mentoring program, help their path to be a lot more easier than what we went through. So as this event is coming to an end, I will say a big thank you to all the GHPN members. This is not possible without you. All the community members, those who came from DC, Atlanta, New York to come support this event, a big thank you to you. Our goal is to do this every year, and our is going to go beyond just scholarship program. We want to have projects in Ghana, the same impact that we're having in this community. We want to transfer that to Ghana as well, and I hope that you'll be part of that journey. So we're going to come to an end for the official event, but then there's an opportunity for us to dance and celebrate for the rest of the night. So it's over, but it's not over. And I'm looking forward to see you next year. I will hand it over to my chairperson of the year.
Good evening again. Can I have you please stand up and give a standing ovation to our founder, Glenn Abbott, please? One thing I'll say is, sometimes it's easy just to have a vision, but to, guide everybody up, take their little input to actually make a vision and actually stewardship. It just hasn't been just everybody on the table. Glenn has been in the grounds. He's also done the dirty work to try to get us here today. And I appreciate his effort, all throughout up until where we've got here today. The vision is grand. I hope you guys have seen a snippet of what we are about. And trust us that, going forward, with your help, with you being a part of this organization, we can actually, do something wonderful going forward. I'm going to end by saying that, a big thank you to each one of you coming out today, and you guys have a lovely evening.
So, thank you so much, Glenn and Jeffrey. As they mentioned, our program is coming to a close. Before we open the dance floor,
Chairperson,
You see your body, Money.